Very interesting. I think 5Power, just the fact that they've won that first game in the group is going to take a lot of pressure off a third map decider like this, going up against the ViCi Gamings. Whereas ViCi, they're going to feel the pressure a lot more to perform because this is the real context of what's happening here, Blair, in this second day of groups. 5Power, if they win this game, they're guaranteed to go through the group, and that's great. If they lose this game, they still have a chance to be able to play PK tomorrow for a spot to go through. Whereas ViCi, the pressure is all on them really at this point. The onus is on them to win this game because if they don't, they're going to be out of this tournament in particular. So that might potentially, that mental edge that 5Power could potentially be able to take advantage of might make this one a little bit easier for them to come away with. But I'd still be backing ViCi when the pressure's down.
You'll still be batching ViCi, but for me, I think 5Power got the firepower to pull this one off. They have the USPs, they have the armor. Schwaderpai's got the kit and the smoke, and he's going to be playing all the way at the back of the A bomb site. He's going to be playing towards ticket. Meanwhile, ViCi, what do we have? Kaze and Advent with 2 smokes and 2 Molotovs all gathered up on top of mid. You have a player towards underpass, Almond, who's slowly floating around. And then we have Kaze towards Palace, making his move there. And here comes a push. Look at the pacing from that. Molotov and the Glock Dink takes on Viva, and they have control of Connector and Jungle. And look at the way they're exploding onto this A bomb site. They have so much of map control, Pilly. And Schwaderpai has a lot of work to do, and he's all alone. There's no trade potential immediately, so he's going to be playing this a little bit more safely as backup has arrived. But look at the position that Freeman has. He's all the way towards ladder room, ensuring there's no one coming in for the retake from jungle. So this is almost an impossible round for ViCi to lose.
100%. This is a very one-dimensional retake. Going to have to be some sharp shots coming out of the 5Power lads and a smoke and a defuse on the bomb.
Xiaosage trying to find something, so many angles to clear out. They check out, declare one angle, and a little bit of lag there, but doesn't matter. We will recover from it as Xiaosage does reply back. It's still a 2v4, though. Make that a 1v4. Make that everyone's dead as Freeman and Zoking are going to strike in tandem. Double kills for Mr. Freeman and Zoking. Advent chiming in with a frag of his own as well. Just one casualty. That was the plan executed to the T.
Absolutely. Easy round there for ViCi in the pistol, and that's going to get them off to a good start here on this T side of Mirage. And if they're able to carry this momentum through from Nuke and into the starting parts of their T side here on Mirage, this could seriously knock the power, knock the confidence of the 5Power players heading forward and potentially put ViCi in a really good shot to be able to close out this game. So just shutting down 5Power time and time again. It's going to be much harder for these lads to fire up and hold the bomb sites with as much sharpness as we've seen throughout this series.
The MP5 in the hands of Kaze. I haven't seen that gun around too much after the initial flurry of nostalgia buys coming in from many of the older pros. The 3 UMPs, AK in the hands of Mr. Zoking. Why the hell not? The guy can entry. He can entry and check 360 degrees in a span of a second.
He is a turret.
He is a turret. Unfortunately, he doesn't check. No one checks behind, but smoke's going to bloom, luckily. Freeman, in the meantime, finds a double kill, the double opener with the UMP, and that's a side pretty much taken over. And there is, of course, Almond floating around. Freeman, in fact, 3 kills for him. He is being a thorn indeed. Almond jumps into the window. Xiaosage will be given the kiss of death, and Cabal, yes.
Trying to zap someone. That was an excellent anti-eco from ViCi, and oh my god, he might have the opportunity to do it. There he goes. Blair, missed opportunity.
I love that. I just find it so funny. I don't know why. I just have a very juvenile sense of humor. Okay, unnecessary there from Cabal. Although, that being said, it's 2 SMGs lost, and he's trapped. Oh. Cabal trying to make his escape. He will be spotted on Zoking immediately. Plucks his head off.
That was a really good anti-eco from ViCi. Just a very, very slow 1-3-1, waiting for any kind of mistake from these 5Power players. But when it doesn't come out, they just smoke off short. They throw the smoke in towards jungle, and they bust up connector there with a couple of the lads and get the bomb down on that A-bomb site. Excellent stuff from ViCi. And a very, very convincing closeout to that round, despite losing a couple frags later on into Cabal. So now ViCi looking like they're going to be heading towards this B-bomb site nice and early. They have the UMPs, which could potentially hamper them in any kind of a longer round where they try to slow things down. But getting the UMPs nice and close up in this CT's face could be potentially deadly.
Oh, I love this. I love this. All the Almond does fall. That was very well played. But now, Xiaosage, time for him to go big or go home. And he is going to not go that big, to be honest. Dobu replying back onto Kaze. Look at Schwaderpai's position. This could really work out. They're not going to be expecting this, but Freeman spots him out, doesn't quite get the kill. It's Advent versus Shwadapai 1v1. And Freeman, he's got everything. He's got the health advantage. He's got the right angle. Oh, the Shwadapai not clearing it out. He's got a decision to make. Oh, he doesn't know. He doesn't know. It's all about timing. Advent, he's got the angle right, and he is going to win the clutch. Advent, what a boss. Triple kill for him. And ViCi switching things up. The fast B really works out for them.
Excellent use of those UMPs, you know, in a longer sort of round scenario, going up against the Orgs in certain parts of the map, like middle or over towards A, you'd be pretty much useless, but they use those UMPs to get nice and close. Orman gets in on the entry, and that's an excellent first gun round, and a bit of a bonus, really, for ViCi to be able to take those umps in that round and win it still. So great momentum here from ViCi, and 5Power, they're not off to the gun of a start that we've seen in some of these other maps in particular, which could potentially hamper them because they can be a momentum and confidence-based team from time to time. And right now, it feels like ViCi's here to play, Blair.
We're just here to play indeed. Shwadapai, unfortunately, not able to find anything. Burning alive, but Viva gets 2 kills to the USP, something which should never have happened. And all of a sudden, this anti-eco is a complete opposite of the second round. There's a lot of damage being dealt by 5Power. And Shaosagi with the Mag 10. They know, the T's know where one player is. They made their way towards the... Freeman smacks the player out. The double P comes in. There's no need for them to fight here. But I like what they're doing. They're sticking this together just so he can't separate them. But Cabal, the range on that 5-7 not really going his way. And Freeman will put him to bed with the kiss from that Glock. 5Power now with the buy. Op is going to come out. It's a dual op setup. One on Viva, why not? He was pretty good with that op in the first 2 maps. And Cabal with the secondary op.
So let's see if ViCi are going to start to slow things down because they've been pretty high tempo thus far in this half, other than that anti-eco that they turned into an A split. See what the setup's going to be from them. 3 players towards B and 2 towards A. Probably going to be the smokes on the right side of the site and then sending multiple players out under pass, which could really throw off these 5Power lads in a double orb setup in particular. They want to try to flush Cabal off this angle though, because he does have a lot of information and Orman seems pretty well aware of that, but they're not going to be able to do so, which means that 5Power is going to be able to have a really informed rotate. You can see that with Viva cheating over towards this A bomb site, and this short player is very well aware that there should be players coming up connector any second now. The split comes in from ViCi.
All about timing, though. Look at the timing of these peaks coming out. Viva is there to find Advent, but Freeman strikes. Shwadapai is there. There's a pretty nice crossfire being set up as Freeman... Kaze backfires Viva, and Shwadapai is giving his position away. The bomb's down.
What?
There's no one looking his direction, and Shwadapai finds another one. How is things falling apart so badly for ViCi? And now Orman's going to walk straight to his death. Cabal, he's not going to miss those. And like you said, Pele, Cabal holding that aggressive angle to his B apartments, giving all the information 5Power needed in ViCi, kind of walking into a trap there.
100%. So now ViCi in a bit of an awkward money situation, deciding whether to buy or not, as Orman and Freeman do have around 3k, a bit poorer than the rest of the team. And there you go, 3 guns, I believe it was, saved over for 5Power is going to get them a foot back into this half. A 4-1 scoreline and a nice early advantage for ViCi, but 5Power with a convincing enough round to stabilise their CT economy and continue to build potentially more and more rounds into this CT side. You don't want to give 5Power that kind of an edge. You don't want to let them get the AWPs and the Orgs over on the side of them. Let them start to build that confidence because you might never be able to take the lead back from them. There's going to be a buy from ViCi. With the lackluster weaponry, I mean, they did use the UMPs to great effect on that B execute, and they're going to go with the same kind of logic, an A execute, to try to make use of that lackluster weaponry and set some of these players with Deagles and Galils and stuff in some favourable scenarios. Shwadapai is going to be a big player to watch here on the firebox, though.
Ooh, this is a shot, actually. Nice reply to Viva. Re-peeks out, finds Kaze. Meanwhile, Shwadapai is also shutting it down and just getting picked apart one by one. Bomb dropped in no man's land, and Orman is far, far away from the action.
I'm not really sure why he's trying to lurk with the UMP. It seems pretty pointless to me. The big problem in that round in particular, Blair, is just because their money was so bad that, yeah, sure, they can throw those smokes out on the right side of sight, but when you don't smoke CT, you need good flashbangs over the palace as you're coming out. And there was literally only like one flash for ViCi. And after that one flash went off, Like, Shuadapie and Viva just had free reign to be able to pick those Ts apart as they came into that A bomb site. And if they aren't able to hit those sharp entries, that's exactly what's going to happen. 4 alive for 5Power on ViCi. Their money's broken. This is not looking good into the next couple of rounds here for ViCi.
Absolutely. They can go for the full eco, and then which I would like to see. I like to see a team just not buy anything, just run in, finish it, or just throw it around, it's fine. Just run into the A or the B bomb. So I try the B bomb, so I try to just pray, or the A bomb, so that doesn't really matter. Just try to get the bomb down. If not, it's okay. Make it quick, and then you have all the money in the world to go for a full-fledged buy instead of just going for like a couple of P250s, a deagle here and there, and just hampering yourself into your actual buy round. And they're going to do the smart thing. Glocks all around. They're just waiting patiently for any push, maybe using this kind of like a tactical timeout, a classic move in competitive CS.
This is going to be such a banger of a game, Blair. I can already tell. 5Power, they've got themselves a pretty major foothold back into this half, so ViCi, they're going to have to make some pretty slick moves to make sure that they can keep this half nice and competitive. It's nice that they've got 4 rounds off the back of the pistol and the first gun, with that B execute coming down into the 1-on-2 that Advent was able to close out, but moving forward here, now that 5Power is getting a little bit more comfortable, they're going to need to be calling some pretty good strats, and not to mention hitting their shots. There you go. Freeman's having a nice start to this game. It's been a little bit quiet this series.
Yeah, we're just waiting for Mr. Freeman to wake up. Is he going to go Gordon Freeman? That's the question. One-man army.
Put on his power suit. Get to work. Grab a crowbar.
Yeah.
Haven't quite put the crowbar knife into Counter-Strike Go yet.
That'd be so... Imagine that knife coming in as a skin, like a crowbar. Here we go. The push out, and they are walking in straight to the slaughter. Cabal, I love how Cabal just jumps up. He wants more frags, and Oman trying his best to skate across the flames, but unfortunately, that is going to be a pretty convincing round for 5Power. Just a full eco. It was just Glocks all around, and now the buy comes in from ViCi because Pilly didn't invest anything into that previous round. They have the AKs, they have the Kevlar, they have the helmets, and they also have a decent sum of utility to work with.
They do indeed. And Advent being very particular there about making sure he has full utility. He goes down to the Galil. Smokes into middle here for ViCi. They're going to Molotov, I would imagine, into this connector angle. They'd want to be. They can't give Viva too much to work with that AWP, and South Sage aggressive on short as well. Seems like ViCi's waiting for some kind of aggression to come out of 5Power in this round in particular. And ViCi potentially waiting on the angle, being very well aware that Cabal might go aggressive towards that B apartments later on in the round. Very standard sort of a setup coming out from 5Power, just some aggression over towards middle, and then they can shift back into a 2-1-2 setup later on into the round, and just very, very patient stuff here from ViCi, waiting for any kind of mistake that 5Power might potentially feed to them. But now they're causing this rotation with the smokes over towards B, which gives the room for ViCi to come out middle, and I'm not really sure what Viva's doing. Here comes the B split.
The trades on point, but Shuadapie able to find Freeman before he crosses it over. And Cabal is in a rough spot there. Not able to quite land a shot. Dobu with a quick trade, though, but he's all alone now. As Almond finds Shuadapie and Dobu, they know exactly where he is. He uses a smoke to try and be cheeky, but Advent will find the frag. I thought he was going to shoot the head there a little bit more, but unfortunately, that's all the BM are going to be seeing that round, as ViCi will take this one 5-3. And we do have a quick tag timeout getting called here.
Massive assumption coming out from Viva that B execute is just all 5 players running that part of the map. Pretty common to see people either use the A right side smokes or the B arch smokes just to be throwing those rotator players off, like you saw Shuadapie immediately start running back towards that B bomb side to support his anchor player in lieu of maybe an execute coming out. That kind of play on Mirage is pretty common in the top-level pro scene at the moment, just using that utility to force the rotations off of middle from the CTs to create space for you to run out there with your T players and then create some kind of a split or just take and hold that control on connector or ladder. So the fact that Viva isn't well aware that that could be a possibility and gets caught out there makes that round 10 times easier for ViCi.
All right, so for now, 5Power, the 2 ops, can they make this happen is the question. Viva and Cabal, they have invested a lot into this because look at the money, there's nothing left, and it's going to be a horrible start here. Freeman's going to open things up. Vi, but that's the main op down, and he's been having a rough time with his connector area, Pelly.
He has indeed. So now it's a 4-on-5 situation, man advantage for ViCi, and this is potential for ViCi to be able to reset 5Power's economy now. Cabal almost getting caught in the apartments, but manages to escape with his life. Orman doing a good job of keeping him in check there in that part of the map. Now ViCi, man advantage in the 1-3-1 setup. They go and take this connector control off 5Power, which is going to put a monumental amount of pressure on some of these players. ViCi could do anything at this point. Still in the 1-3-1 sort of formation. They could split A, they could go towards B. Southsage on the off angle could potentially find himself a pick. That's a nice use of the AUG. And Dobu in the corner. This is falling apart. ViCi just giving 1v1 angles over towards these 5Power players, and Dobu's doubling up, stepping up again for this 5Power roster. Orman in the mid-round. Still 40 seconds to play with. Especially with Freeman in Palace here, this round could get a little bit more interesting, but it's going to take some heavy lifting for these ViCi stars. And Shuadapai under balcony is closing this one out pretty convincingly. Dobu with the 3K, really the huge difference maker in that round in particular. And 5Power, despite the man disadvantage, actually turned the round on its head. I thought ViCi with the first pick in that round in particular, and all the map control, were going to be able to reset 5Power there and run away with the rest of the half, but actually it was the other way around. 5Power with off the big play of Shuadapai and Cabal, their shortened connector players, shutting down that mid-aggression coming out from ViCi and resetting their economy, actually. So now ViCi taking a bit of a save, potentially trying to keep these 5Power players honest, keep their economy nice and low so that they don't run away too hard with this game, and that's going to be a nice opening from ZoKing. Southstage just caught out in the middle of the open on his own in a 2-1-2 setup, playing pretty aggressively. Cabal locking down the apps. So 5Power, they can't afford to lose too many more guns. Lucky Dobu was able to clean that one up. And this should be Advent going down as well. And 4 alive for 5Power here is a good thing indeed. So now, just to summarize the last 2 rounds, 5Power straight back into things as they did come away despite losing that man advantage. Huge play from Dobu. And nice clean close out of the anti-eco puts 5Power in the driver's seat here. And ViCi back on the buy round, look to potentially strike again on this T side. Nice and even here, but 5Power have a wealth of money to be leaning back on.
Yeah, with the this game right now poised, 5-5 definitely could go either way, and Viva, perfection on the timing. He waited, and he times it right. And Advent's going to be not a very happy man. It's not just the gun getting taken away, but I do believe he had a little bit of utility there. Cabal. How is he alive? How is Orman alive? Look at the amount of damage being dealt out here, though, despite them getting a couple of kills. And Shuadapai pushes in towards Ram, the dry peak, and he gets the frag. 1 HP on Orman, 17 on Freeman, and ZoKing on 28.
After how standard some of those rounds were looking in the last couple, it was only a matter of time until one of these got extremely messy, and this one will be it in particular. Orman's actually running through the B-bomb site. Want to make sure Viva's nice and glued onto this one, and he's making so much noise that Viva's 100% ready to pick him here.
What? I mean, you run all this way, and then you just start walking.
Double push into Palace in the mid-round for 5Power. How is Cabal, the player that was usually over towards that B apartments at the start of the round, now in a Palace?
Listen, yeah. Poor ZoKing sticks it around with the C4. He gets taken down, and now it is going to be down to Mr. Freeman. 17 HP, he finds one. Immediately switches to the knife. What's he going to do here? 26 seconds. He doesn't have many options. He needs to make a decision right now, A or B. And whichever side he goes towards, there's one player waiting for him. Viva. Went to the B bomb side with 18 seconds. He really doesn't have much time. Unless he spots him out. He goes for the wall spray. But can he land a shot? 10 seconds. Molotov's going to come on out. He needs to get the kill right now. But a perfectly placed smoke. Oh, and he doesn't get the kill. And that's going to be the round going the way of 5Power. That was so quick, at least though, that 5 seconds where I think 4 players died and half the players on ViCi lost all their health.
Yep, so ViCi again struggling to win that one, especially 5Power, who's seeming to thrive in the chaos on this CT side. When things get a little bit messy, these individuals are really stepping up for 5Power. Half bite coming out for ViCi as they try to get themselves a cheeky little round win here, or potentially do a lot of damage to the CT economy. You can see the bottom 3 players on the left side of your screen literally really lacking for the money, whereas Viva has a bit of extra cash, but 3 players already here on this B bomb site here for 5Power.
Flirting with danger. There's a player towards apartments. That's the thing with 5Power. We've said this time and time again, it's a cliche in Counter-Strike now, in Counter-Strike commentary, like, oh yeah, they're a momentum-based team, but the thing with 5Power is that cliche really does ring true. If these guys start hitting the shots and start getting the stuff going their way, they can really be a thorn. Let's look at this B hit coming in. Advent, okay, just spams the deagle, finds a headshot, gets the hell out of there, and meanwhile, the A flank coming in, Zoking. Was a Schwaderpie. Zoking is going to peek on white. Yes, he is, but that gun is going to be too much to handle. Schwaderpie finds this tube before Freeman replies back. Xiaosage, in the meantime, with the trade of his own, it's all on Freeman. But Mr. Freeman will fall to the ground. Viva will pick up a frag for himself. 7-5, 5Power. Despite a horrendous start, they are definitely clawing back into this game, and now looking to build at least a decent lead.
100%. They have built up their economy enough to do so. Even if they do lose a round or 2 here to ViCi, they should be totally fine to buy. Look at this quick A execute coming out from ViCi. Straight out A ramp. Lots of pressure on Schwaderpie.
The smokes haven't even landed and they're already in jungle. Jesus. As Zoking will fall to Dobu because that smoke is not that great. There's a massive gap there. Advent still gets trying to get the ball down. It's Dobu. What is this man doing in Almond? He goes for the wildest spray I've ever seen. That was messy, Pilly. What was that? What was that from both the teams? Break it down.
Well, ViCi was just trying to set the pace by coming quickly out of A there. And 5Power winning some pretty key aim duels. Viva in particular getting that pick, and then Dobu making a quick work of that bit of a scuffed jungle smoke that you highlighted, and I'm not really sure what ViCi's doing with their money right now, Blair. Half of them are buying, half of them are not buying. I think this is kind of falling apart a little bit from them. Maybe a little bit of a frustration coming out. Because I'm pretty sure if Advent's not buying, none of you guys should be.
I think Advent, like, I think the instincts have taken over. Like how we have, you know, when you put a human being on an uninhabited island with just nature all around you, and you forget civilization and communication and everything to just go down to becoming sheer animals, just relying on instincts. I think that's what's happening.
B5-1, straight away.
Straight away, like not even thinking. And Advent's like, why did you guys buy it? And they're not listening at this point. They're like, we don't care, we're just going to kill. So let's see if it works on out. But I do appreciate one thing, Billy.
What's that?
I appreciate how we try to bring a sense of logic into the proceedings.
Yeah, that's what I'm here for. You can embrace the chaos, and I'll try to make sense of it.
You're the yin to my yang.
Wow.
Peanut butter to my jelly.
So romantic. Now ViCi going to be heading onto this A bomb side, and again, Schwaderpie's in the sandwich position. It's him and Viva to hold things down, and they've been doing a great job of this stuff so far in this half, Blair.
Viva with that zoom banger. He has to come to the worst time possible. That is so unfortunate. And this time around, they're ready for Mr. Schwaderpie. Dobu, however, Mongolian player. Swartz is sticking around. What an utter nutcase. Xiaosage does reply back. Oh my lord, what a flick. Jesus Christ, that was disgusting. And now Kaze left alone. The Malaysian player. 8 seconds. He's gonna get the bomb down. They know exactly where he is. They're gonna try to wall bang him in. He's gonna find. Oh! What? Oh my lord, that was. Did he just throw his gun as well? Did he throw his gun? Yes, he did. That was. Wow.
ViCi avoid all of those potential snags that they've been running into, which has mostly been Viva and Schwaderpie on this A bomb site. Can't believe Viva got away with his life there. And Norman, lots of pressure on B apartments. Nice little spray onto Cabal, who's time and time again been jumping up on B apartments and going aggressive. Gets punished for it this time around. And ViCi with the man advantage doesn't necessarily guarantee them the round win, as we've learned the hard way in this half, Blair.
I'm sorry, I'm still trying to recover. I want to apologize for that complete failure of play-by-play casting by yours truly. I really was lost for words. I did not know how to react to that. But I do agree with you that man advantage doesn't really mean anything here, but Xiaosag and Shuadafly are replying back with the
It's
vengeance.
happening again, man. Like ViCi, they find this man advantage, and then 5Power, it's almost like that incentive. It gives them a excuse to be the aggressive SOBs that they always are.
They are kind of nasty. They're a very nasty bunch of aimers for sure. So there you have it. The half will be 9-6. Neither here nor there for both the teams. It is Mirage after all, but you know what's gonna happen? A break's gonna happen because we're gonna be going to the final half of the day to decide which team is gonna go through. Will ViCi be pretty much knocked out, or will 5Power pull out, or will they manage to hold on and make things interesting? We're gonna find out after a very quick break.
Walk away, walk on, baby. Walk away, walk away, walk on, baby. Walk away, walk away, walk on, baby. Walk away, walk away, walk on, baby. Walk on, baby.
Welcome back, everyone, to potentially the final half of the day. Look at the odds right there, Pelly. 2 for ViCi, 1.65 for 5Power. The odds have finally swayed in the favor of the Mongolian-Chinese wombo combo. Is this the way it's going to go? Are 5Power going to pull off the impossible once more?
That is a good way to describe them, the wombo combo. I like that. The Mongolian-Chinese wombo combo. That doesn't sound like something you want to get caught up in, honestly.
I want to
which
eat
is
that.
a good description of 5Power. So 5Power over on their T side obviously had a good run of things once they got their money under control on CT side. But as you'd expect, ViCi tactically adept enough to steal a couple rounds away here or there and still keep things fairly competitive. Over on the side of 5Power now, looks like the right side of site smokes in combination with a bunch of flashbangs thrown out over this A ramp and Palace area. It's just Kaze retake, see if he can tap one quick USP headshot. Nope, he's just going to back off and play it nice and safe. And ViCi, they're going to take this mid control and go in for the retake. It is Advent with the smoke and the kit. We've seen this situation many times before, but the fight's going to come into CT spawn. Flash should be flying out from Shuadapai right now.
Oh no, I think that was it just blinded everyone, and Zoken's going to come on top because of that. They're going to go for the white peak, but Freeman is going to join the party. It's all in Shuadapai. Needs to get something, but they will lose the 5v5 retake. ViCi not losing a single player. Kaze even surviving on one solitary point of health.
So just like you said, Shuadapai, he holds the flash just a little bit too long and it actually just ends up blinding all of the 5Power players.
It kind of reminds me of watching WWF back when I was growing up. I know people call it WWE now, but back then you'd see like Stone Cold and Undertaker facing off The Rock and Mankind, and then just this random guy just comes in and jumps in between all of them, just messes everything up. That was Shuadapai right there.
WWF, it's World Wildlife Fund. Never knew you were such a good guy.
Shush. It was a World Wrestling Federation. It was the greatest thing of all time. And now it's just a sad shadow of itself, like how ViCi are a sad shadow of their Asian minor self.
Yep, but potentially going to be able to make up for their recent performances if they don't get deagled in the face by these 5Power boys as hard as they have been throughout this series. They need as many of their guns as they can get, but Kaze likes to peek mid-window. That's my nice little song.
Are we going to go full musical here, man?
I think so.
Full Bollywood dancing on the trees and whatnot, but unfortunately it's Mirage. There aren't many trees around.
What about Tollywood? You were telling me about all the different woods.
There are a lot of woods. I know you like wood, Billy. But you know what? That's you. I'm just going to be a good boy here, a good lad. I'm just going to talk about the game. As, like you did mention, these deagles can be really nasty indeed. But as long as ViCi don't overextend themselves and always set up on nice spray down positions, they can make things work. Alman taking a while there to get the kill, but he will finally manage to make it work. And Shuadapai and Cabal left. Shuadapai on 100, Cabal on 2. Unfortunately, the player with the 2 HP is the one who's got the Kevlar, so that's really not going to work out. They're going to be coming towards the A bomb site, and guess who's waiting is Mr. Zoking and Mr. Advent.
Yep, if one of these deagle shots does find its way into his head, then things could potentially get a little bit worrisome here, but it doesn't look like that will be the case. 4 alive for ViCi, nice and clean round. And now 5Power will be able to buy up into this one. Not the best utility across all of the lads, but they're not really a team who needs it that bad, Blair. They'll be totally fine just having the rifles in their hands and left clicking in combination with the movement of the keyboard and the mouse to victory.
That is what we do. Coordinate the clickety-clacks of the keyboard.
Speaking of coordination, the 4-man wide swing out middle, and it's not really worked out for them at all.
The damage actually is pretty solid. 119 points of damage onto Kaze and Zoking combined. However, the frag goes the way of ViCi.
Does indeed. So now 5Power with what the hell was that from Cabal? And he's not done yet. He's still charging in on the B-bomb side.
Oh.
How do these rounds happen? ViCi get the advantage, and then one of these 5Power players just goes, hey, I'm going to win it now. Easy. He literally one-beat him while he was jump spotting Blair. And if you're ViCi, how do you feel about losing a round like that?
How did that even happen? And we've been saying this about Cabal. He's been having some truly magical rounds. And the man disadvantage doesn't matter.
My voice can't take that, man.
I can see you dying, choking. Thankfully, it's not Ebola. Anyway, the point
Not
I'm
confirmed
trying to
yet. Haven't seen the doctor yet, Blair. I wouldn't stand too close, man.
All right, I'm going to die as well. But you know what? That was some impressive stuff coming up from Cabal. Gets that shot onto the jumping player, follows it up with a second frag. And for ViCi, think about it, right? 5v4, man advantage, you have control of everything, and all of a sudden, boom, you're dead, you're saving. And 5Power, they're going to get to round number 10 off the back of the Mongolian overlord, Cabal, riding in like his ancestors and just taking territory all on his lonesome.
Yeah, I really wouldn't be first picking Dobu anymore, because that just seems to piss Cabal off, honestly. And now ViCi, 3 guns saved. Could potentially buy into this one. AWP for Kaze. Pretty good buy across all of the lads, honestly, here, Blair.
Yep. And if you look at the money, however, the money is definitely favoring 5Power. They do have the little bit of money tucked in underneath the mattress for a rainy day.
Tucked into the old waistband. That's where I keep my watts of cash. Please don't rob me.
Well, everyone knows, everyone in the Jakarta area, if you do find Mitch walking around, you know exactly where his money is tucked in. About 20 million Indonesian rupiah tucked to his waistband over there. Although, that being said, reaching into his waistband could lead to you catching some unnecessarily disgusting diseases. You never know. But 10 to 8.
More, you mean?
Some more, rather, yeah. 10 to 8 right now, for the time being, though. And like you mentioned, Pili, the buy is good for both the teams, but there's more at stake here for ViCi. If they lose this one, they're going to be in for a wall of pain, and 5Power can easily get around number 12 or even 13.
Look at them go. They're edging up middle here and looking to wind up this short B split. Good positioning, and Zoking could have a potential chance to be able to catch one of these players in the side, but it will not happen. Allman is just going to have to make do with this UMP. So the main player who's going to have to perform here is Freeman. Flash doesn't affect him, and he doubles up.
Second, 2 other players coming in, but Freeman and Allman double hold here, and it's all in Shuadapai, and although he finds Freeman, that's all he'll get. And this is a brilliant round. This is a brilliant round for ViCi. A round they really needed to win, and the only gun they lose is the UMP. And they retrieve all the rifles into the next round. For 5Power, though, luckily, they do have some money.
There you go. Look at your boy go.
Yeah, boy, my boy, Mr. Freeman, 22 frags. When they need him to perform, he will step up. He will go Gordon Freeman, Morgan Freeman, Captain Morgan. Doesn't really matter. He's got to go all in. And he is liberating
Yes.
those 5-power players.
Is he more of a white Captain Morgan or a spicy Captain Morgan?
I like the spicy Captain Morgan.
I like a bit of spicy Captain Morgan myself. I knew you were a spicy man, Blair, the moment I saw you. The moment we locked eyes for the first time. 5Power, they're going to need a little bit of that spice as well, because they totally got shut out of that last round by Freeman. Super hard. And that's going to give ViCi a real good amount of money to be leaning back on. But like you said, 5Power, no problems for them to be able to buy up into this round, apart from the 2 Deagles that they have to go to towards Dobu and Shuadapai. Pretty good chance of them winning this round. The Flash is good.
How many times is Kaze going to re-peek out, honestly?
Until he gets a kill, and then he falls back.
And then, of course, he falls back. And this is a pretty hard round, although Viva dying means the AK is available for Mr. Dobu to pick up. And let's see what he does with that, as they will smoke off the top of cons. That means that's some space to work with. They've left the look, Mr. Shaosage over there. A classic switch up there. The Dobu with the SG is going to try and scope in and kill the player towards Ticket, while Zoking playing from Firebox. The smoke is going to be a tell as to what's going to happen. That nade is timed a little bit off the timing. And that means Cabal will survive. Dobu's going to find Zoking, and that's huge here. And look at Shaosage pushing in like an utter nutcase. He finds another frag, 3v3.
Zoking was in the perfect position to be able to make a difference in that round in particular, but he just gets spammed out straight away with that SG. Such penetration through the box on that gun in particular. And now this retake comes in. Freeman through con, 2 through CT. Post plant set up all towards T spawn here for 5Power.
Flashbang's good, but not quite able to take advantage of it. Oh no, Dobu. You rarely see him whiff a spray like that with that gun. It's going to be all on a Shuadapai, and he's going to get smacked in the face. Advent is still so clued in. It's like, oh, there's someone else still alive. No, everyone's dead, Advent. And ViCi will win another round. And to be honest, the 3v3 retake was really solid. No one died, and I don't want to blame Dobu. I mean, he kind of whiffed that spray, but yeah, if it at least got that kill, things have got a little bit more interesting.
And I think this is the kind of 5Power that you see a little bit more when the pressure comes down to it, a 3rd map scenario. This was Dust 2. They all would have been, no way they would have been hiding in Tetris and stuff like that, and just waiting for the round to resolve itself in the crossfire. They would have been out there taking the aim duels. But 5Power looking a little bit hesitant, maybe a little bit scared of ViCi now. And that could potentially be their undoing here. Regardless, they do have the CZ armor half buy in towards this B area. Allman's got the Molotov to be able to drop. And what a grenade out from the man.
Oh, here we go. Freeman is going to go Mr. Freeman on the combine butt of 5Power.
Why did
Never
why
mind.
did they
I
run through then?
completely jinxed it. I have completely jinxed it, unfortunately. But Almond and Kaze, they do find a couple, but the reply comes in from Viva from the AUG picked up from Mr. Freeman. 3v3. Now, the thing is, Shwadapai and Cabal have CZs, but as long as they ensure they're not spotted out and they force ViCi to go for the close quarter battles, although that being said, Zoking spotted out the first player. There's going to be information conveyed. Zoking spots out a player towards Apps as well. They know where two players are. They don't know where the third one is, however. And Shwadapai, despite them knowing exactly where he is, he's going to get found out. Zoking with a beautiful shot. Now it's a 1v1. Kaze, the Molotow's going to come in and Cabal. He's got health to work with, but he's going to get pushed out. And Kaze with the save. ViCi win a round that really came down to the wire.
Yeah, that's going to cook their economy pretty hard here, particularly for Zoking. And there's no way it should have been even that close. That was such a weird timing from 5Power. Literally, they threw both flashbangs and nobody ran out of the smoke. And then, like 3 seconds later, they all ran out of the smoke at the same time. And Ormond's just like so bamboozled.
So bamboozled would be the name of this VOD if it was ever to come on DVD.
Wow. And now the double AWP setup, the double D, no one would call it. And I don't know how that's going to go for 5Power. Double AWP setup on T-side Mirage. That's a bit how you going.
You know what? Double D's no longer playing. Mr. DD from Tyloo.
That's true.
I like calling him Double D.
That's a bit sad as well.
Yeah.
Where's he on Panda?
Because I don't know. Have you seen it, dude? The guy.
I miss his earrings and his haircut.
He's baller as hell. Like, he's more interesting to look at than what he does in the server at times.
Ooh. Shots fired, Blair.
No, I'm saying it was really good. It was really good. Anyway, let's see whether Mr. Freeman can stack more frags onto that tally of his and do more work, as they do have the sliver of lead, 11-10. But for 5Power, dual op on T-side Mirage is something you don't see that often, Pilly.
Right side, a smoke's coming out, but the Molotov instantly gets dropped from ViCi. But this might create some pressure here for Dobu to be able to sneak through the back of these smokes and backstab one of these players. It's going to be on Advent to make sure he can't do that.
Zoking, though, finds one. Kaze, okay. That was crazy. I thought Zoking got the kill. And Kaze, he's going to strike. Oh, Freeman with a quick trade. Advent, the only casualty.
What is this 5Power that we're seeing? Like, usually they'd just be out of that A ramp and just banging everyone's heads off, but they look so hesitant. They're all just like running into each other and bumbling around. It's like, what the hell? Is this the same team that won Dust 2 and beat Tyloo yesterday?
Well, that's because Kaze has been activated. So you have Kaze towards A, Freeman just running around the map, getting kills at will. These two players are making things quite nasty indeed for 5Power. And all you need, we keep saying this about ViCi. Freeman and Kaze just have to do what they do, you know, being top fragger, and all they need is either Almond and Zoking to step it up, and Zoking has stepped it up. So this is looking pretty rough. If we're just looking at pure 5Power, it's going to be a very dry play. Oh! Kaze with the collateral. He finds what Cabal and Xiaosage. Good night, son. And it's looking for more. And look at the utility for the T's. They have one flashbang remaining after using the smoke of theirs. And now Kaze should be careful. He's going to be spotted out. And Dope is going to punish him. Orb comes out. He's just rattling off shots. No scoping everywhere around, finds another one. He is feeling it here. Dobu is just going ham, but he does not quite land the no scope. And what is going on, Billy? Is this deathmatch you're witnessing?
Pretty much the equivalent of it, but it's not going to work out for 5Power. ViCi just a little bit more coordinated in that round in particular.
It's just free
I don't
for
think
all.
5Power have decided who their AWPer is. Last round, it was like Viva and Cabal, I think, and then that round, Dobu brought an AWP. Now, Southstage has spent the majority of his money in this round in particular, and they're going to try to win a round with CZ Armor and doing an execute once again. But ViCi have been so good on these retakes, and retakes is actually exactly what you'd want to be good at going up against CZ and Armor. Don't want to be taking these fights too early. You just want to let the round play out as it naturally does and use your utility to be able to flush these players out and create favourable duels for yourselves on the side of ViCi. And old mate Advent. Retake A, smokes come in, flashes over the top as they charge out on the side of 5Power. Not a single player going down yet, but by the same token, they need to get aggressive or something, because if this comes down into the late round and none of these ViCi players have died, 5Power are just going to get torn apart on the retake.
Well, The weaponry definitely are favoring ViCi. And bear in mind, they have 1 Molotov and 4 flashbangs. There's not much utility-wise. The 1 pop flash they have remaining, they're going to use it, and that's going to allow them to get a kill onto Advent. But guess who's waiting for them? And it's Mr. Freeman holding the line, waiting for integration to happen. And look at that flank slowly happening. Dobu, he's making a bit of noise. Now he's going to run. Yes, he is. And that's going to be a giveaway, but they're not clued in on his position. Oh, and Dobu with a perfection of a flank. But Zoking still alive. Oh, there's no time remaining, though. He's got to have to run away, run for the hills. And 5Power with the full A play on, well, wasn't even a full force buy. It was just more like a half investment. Make it click. And what a round to win.
100%. Those 5-power players going aggressive in towards CT spawn with that 1 flashbang is really what makes such a big difference there for 5-power in that round. They needed to create some kind of pressure for ViCi to come in on the retake a little bit faster from some parts of the map. Obviously, ViCi, they actually used a lot of their utility early on, so they only had a handful of flashbangs and Molotovs to be able to come into the late round of that round in particular. And off the back of that, ViCi's economy is actually looking a little bit battered than bruised. 5-power in an excellent position to actually put a foot in the door into the later parts of this game.
Well, Kaze waiting patiently.
Look, Dobu's ready with the flashbang. He's going to drop it as soon as this smoke starts to fade. He's actually going to smoke top of con. No, he's smoking window.
Oh, did
Xiaosage just ran through the smoke. Never mind. You don't need to flash him into con when he just runs up there himself.
That should never be happening. Almond, he finds one. The Molotov and the smoke coming in. And the smoke's gonna extinguish the Molotov. But Advent in the site towards default. He finds one. Molotov's gonna push him out, and he is gonna get sacrificed by Dobu. It runs out the wrong direction for Dobu to get the kill, but Cabal is there, and Freeman at the edge of the smoke like a wraith, and he is gonna be Almond to get another one, 14-11. And for 5-power, the fact that they wanted that half investment means they will have money to go for the buy.
Yep, they will buy indeed, but a lot of pressure on ViCi's economy equally. Despite coming away with that round, they only had 2 players alive, which means 5-power, they can potentially reset them onto a singular or double eco into the later parts of this half if they do win this round. So 5-power fighting to sort of stay alive and equal things up with ViCi, but whereas ViCi, they're fighting to put the final nail in the coffin and stay alive here in the Pro League. And Kaze has been doing such a great job at hitting some crucial orb shots, but misses one there. That's going to be an extra 5-power player alive who might not be heading into this very, very important round. Another time for this A execute. Zoking retake on this, actually on the, oh, he's towards Firebox, sorry. And Kaze is on the retake with the AWP.
The A bomb site again is going to be where 5-power is going to be making the play. Kaze trying to time the shot, doesn't quite land it, and Dobu's going to find Zoking towards Firebox. Advent should be careful as Kaze through the smoke somehow lines it up right, and that's a danger man taken out of the equation. Dobu's going to fall. Cabal, how is he alive? I don't even know how he's even alive, but he gets the bomb down and survives with 46 points of health as he makes his way. He makes his way towards T-spawn. There are 2 guys towards ramp, 1 guy towards Palace, and 1 guy Tetris.
It's going to be a difficult retake for ViCi. They don't have any Molotovs. They don't have any smokes. Just got to try and flash and win these aim duels.
Ooh, Shwadapai tickling away the player. The guy at Palace has to peek at some point or the other. It's all about timing. He's going to peek on perfect timing for Xiaosage, and he finds what Almond was looking for the lurk to come in because he knew there were these 3 people towards ramp area.
And Cabal was thinking about it. He started moving in that direction and then decided better of it and went back in towards that A ramp. So that was the correct decision to be doing in that round. Not that it probably would have mattered because, you know, like you said, Xiaosage from the Palace, hitting some pretty sharp shots. And that's going to be ViCi reset. 5-power looking to even things up in this game. Haven't quite won it for themselves yet in terms of putting ViCi in a very, very awkward spot. ViCi's bought themselves enough room. They're actually going to force into this one. And Kaze, he's going to save. No, he's going to commit with the rest of the lads. So that might hamper him with going for an AWP if they don't come away with this round in particular.
And this is such a precarious round, such a crucial round for 5-power to win.
And look at ViCi, the way that they're reacting. 5-power's just gone to that A bomb site every single time, and ViCi force buy and just stack it. Leave Freeman solo on that B bomb site by himself, just jump spotting as well as Orman, floating around here and there. 5-power sensibly take them in control, going up against what they probably think is an anti-eco. They know how bad ViCi's money is now.
Well, for ViCi, if this round doesn't pan out, that means 5Power can easily actually go and get to 14, even 15 potentially. So if they can win this one, this could be huge. Almond is going to be instrumental, and he is over at the A bomb side. The thing is, with 5Power taking control of mid, they have an option as to where they want to go towards the bomb. It's going to get picked up. Where is it going to go is the question. Oh, it's all about timing. Oh no, the timing is tremendously horrendous.
Hey, CTs don't belong in T-Sport.
V was probably like, wait, hold on a second. What's Soaking doing there? And now they know. 28 seconds, it has to be A. The thing is, Kaze is burning alive, he's trapped, he's still very much alive here, gonna make his way towards the bottom there. And Almond with an AUG doing a lot of damage at 2 players, and Advin's gonna strike, finds Turbo, Almond finds another one, as things are falling apart here, Pilly. Freeman's gonna find Xiao Gates, 1 player, Cabal left alone. Does he notice another player there? He doesn't, and Kaze is gonna get the kill. What a round to win by ViCi to get to map and match point.
And I was about to say, Blair, they never, despite force buying the pistols, they never fed those kills to 5Power. They never fought mid. They hid until the end of the round, and that allows them to have the avenue. The amount of amateur teams, or like even just the second-rate teams in certain regions that feed these force buy kills, and the pistoling players getting a little bit too antsy. I mean, obviously Soaking went for the flank or whatever, but past that, all of them stayed alive and actually just committed to that stack right to the end, and they get rewarded for it.
Absolutely ruthless. Well, Shuadapai at least does find Advent. Oh, look at them creeping out towards B here, but there is a player ready and waiting. And he gets him mid-jump, but he still gets a kill, and it's going to be Almond finding Dope, but that's it, Pilly. 4v3, bomb down in the B bomb site. It's down, not just in apartments, it's down on the site. Nade chucked in, Viva down to 69 HP, Molotov to follow up, and there's no need for them to... Freeman, don't do this, man. 34 HP, he's burned half his life away, but that's okay. 2v4, and this could very well be it, ladies and gentlemen. It is gonna be ViCi winning a must-win game, Pilly, and what an interesting group we're going to have now. We're going to talk about that more in detail, but ViCi have managed to pull this one off. Shuadapai left alone in a 1v4, and this is going to be nigh impossible.
Freeman with a bit of a up and down performance in this competition in general, but this map in particular, 3rd map of the series, ViCi's tournament life on the line. This man delivers, Blair.
This man delivers indeed. Mr. Freeman has managed to ensure that ViCi will not get knocked out of the tournament. We're going to be cutting to a very quick break, and then we're going to be back with the groups and to also talk about what we have in store for you guys tomorrow.